Howdy everybody, this is Amy from Amy's Sparkly Diamond Painting, and I thought I'd try to do a short whip and chat this evening. And first off, I'll show you what I'm working on. I tried doing this whip and chat a few times with some sort of big introduction trying to explain what I was doing, but I figured it would be pretty boring for you guys to just sit and look at an empty screen with no action going on. So I'm going to try to do a blend here and just start with the whip and chat, working on the diamond painting while I explain various things along the way. So first off, what am I working on? This is probably kind of hard to see. Hopefully you can make that out somewhat. This is my first ever Josephine Wall diamond painting that I probably started working on, I don't know, maybe about 8 months ago. This is the Three Graces from Josephine Wall and purchased from Diamond Painting Deutchland, and it has 270 colors. And this is double-sided adhesive. It is a square. Now the reason I picked this painting was because I was trying to find one with the most colors. My dogs are playing with each other there. Oh, stop. Yes. Okay, dogs. I tried to record this like 4 or 5 times today, but because of the dogs barking, I finally gave up. So I thought it was nice and quiet this evening, but as usual, the dogs are barking. So anyway, I picked this one because it had 270 colors, which was one of the most colors that they had. Plus, I liked the picture because it reminded me of me and my 2 bigger sisters. So we have the Three Graces here, and these are my 2 older sisters that are closer in age to each other, and then I was the little one born several years later. So this just kind of gave me warm, happy vibes of my sisters and me growing up. So that is what I'm working on here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started while I talk about this painting a little bit. Let's see if I can make sure this stays in the frame without my head getting in the way. So one of the things to deal with the 270 color diamond painting is how to organize the drills. And what I did for this one is different from some of my other bigger diamond paintings that I started since then. I sorted these in smaller containers by color rather than by symbol or by DMC. I've done others the other 2 ways, but for this particular painting, because the colors seem to come in splotches of the same color group, I thought it was best to sort by color. So that's what you see here. Here's my container of blues. I've got a container here of earth tones. Oh wait, no, that's my earth tones. Here's some yellows and pinks. And then I have another one of greens and turquoise. So I have 4 main containers with colors. And then I had a little bit left over. So these are my leftovers. My dog wants to play. Plus all the bags that just didn't fit into the containers that I had. So that's how I have this kitted up. So I'm going to start working on this and talk about what I've done to it over the last week, or actually the last couple days, to make it a little more usable. Because this diamond painting did sit for a while, and I'm trying to find the first color. There it is, because it's a blue. That's kind of on the edge there. So first off, this one needed a little bit of TLC. If you've ever gotten a Diamond Painting Deutchland painting or seen some of these, you know that they are double-sided adhesive rather than poured glue. And what that means is that you have giant pieces of double-sided tape, basically, on the canvas. And double-sided adhesive can be a little bit finicky, especially if you roll it and unroll it. Oh, come on, dogs, please. Roll it and unroll it several times. You can get what are called, come on, dogs. Mocha, come here. We have a giant brown lab that loves to mess with our little chihuahua. And they're just trying to play, but the chihuahua is a bit afraid of the giant dog. So, Mocha, come here. So distraction is always the key, just like a toddler. So, thank you. Anybody need a, let's see, there we go, squeaky toy? There you go, dog. So, double-sided adhesive is a bit finicky, and you can get what are called rivers or bubbles in the double-sided adhesive if you roll it and unroll it several times. And unfortunately, this one has been rolled and unrolled a few times. I have finally started storing it flat, but before that point, it was abused just a little bit. So what I had to do to fix this up is I pulled off the cover from this. It was covered in that print, that paper that has a blueprint on the diagonal, the double-sided adhesive cover. I pulled all that off, and then I put washi tape around the edge because the edge where I had worked on it was getting really dirty because I have dogs and dog hair, and it's really sticky. So I covered that with washi tape, and then I put my own release papers on here to cover up it instead of the double-sided adhesive. And while I was at it, I took care of some of the rivers that I found that had developed in a few spots along the painting. And rivers are basically, well, you can't see them now because I took care of them. They're like wrinkles in the tape. So if you ever use double-sided adhesive and run into wrinkles, think of it as air bubbles. So what I do is I take a knife. This is kind of like an X-Acto knife, a little bit of a cheaper version of a craft knife, and I slice very carefully diagonally along those rivers and then push down on them by putting the release paper over it and pushing down. And what that does is it releases the air and flattens that tape back down on the canvas. So that way when you put the drills on later on, they don't try to lift up or pop off because of those air bubbles. So hopefully that has taken care of the problem, but if I go along here and find a little more trouble with any rivers or air bubbles, I will keep that knife handy and I will make little slices into them to take care of that problem. So it is fixable. So don't ever feel like a canvas is done for if you see some of those rivers and air bubbles. And don't be afraid of trying double-sided adhesive if you never have before. You'll find it is much stickier than the poured glue in the sense that when you set a drill down, you can't move it around so much. So I'm trying to adjust some of these a little bit. But really, once they stick down, they really stick, which is a good thing if you don't want them to fall off, but can be a bit rougher if you do need to move some around. So I don't typically multi-place with this. I don't really need to because it's full of confetti. I have to move my chair here. Sorry about that. But multi-placing, you have to be pretty exact on double-sided adhesive if you want it to look pretty good without getting all crooked. So I don't bother with multi-placing on this, and really it's only the top and the edges that have enough of the same color in a large area to warrant using a multi-placer, so I don't bother. So what am I using today? Well, first off, my pen. Yep. Can't seem to find the camera today. This is a Diamond Art Club pen. This is their Cloud pen. I have two Diamond Art Club pens. I like them a little bit better than some of the others. I like their lightweight in their size. I've not bought a really fancy pen yet, one of the hand-turned pens on Etsy. I will maybe someday decide that's what I need. But for the moment, I just use these Diamond Art Club pens. So they have the single placer on one end, and you can put a multi-placer in the other. For this one, doesn't really matter. I just do it for the weight. That's probably about a 4 or 5 placer there. Inside my single placer, I have a glue dot. So I like to use glue dots. I'll use putty. I'll use wax. Basically, I use whatever's within reach, honestly. Glue dots do last longer, but sometimes they can be stickier. But against this double-sided adhesive, it's not a problem because it is sticky enough that it can pull these diamonds away from that glue dot with no trouble. The tray is just a basic Diamond Art Club tray. And that's because I'm not multi-placing. Oops, that one's upside down. I'm using single placing, and right now this is actually a lot of the same color, but normally you only do about 2 or 3 drills of any one color when you're working on these Josephine Wall paintings, because the confetti is really, really strong, and not sure that is a word. There's a lot of confetti, which means that you're switching colors constantly. You maybe put 1 or 2 drills down before you have to switch colors again. So I thought I'd start with this little area here on the edge that has a little bit more of the same color. But most of the time you're gonna spend your time switching drills in and out with these. Now, one of the things I like about these Diamond Painting Deutchland canvases, they do have the color in the background, which does help you kind of get a feel for which color group to look in to find the symbol, which is why I have these sorted by color group. But it also has these thicker lines. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me try to zoom you in. Lift it up so you can, yeah, it's probably not going to work. But there are lines on the grid every 10 squares, horizontal and vertical. And what that does is it allows me, as I'm doing this, to just focus on each little 10 by 10 square. And so I'll try to make sure that all the symbols for that one particular color in that one 10 by 10 square are filled in, and then I move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. It just makes it a little bit easier so I don't let my eyes wander across the whole thing and find myself chasing colors all over the place. Because with these bigger canvases, you see the next area, you see the next colors. It's very tempting to do. But you'll find that it's easier on your sanity if you just focus on one little 10 by 10 square at a time for each color and kind of go across one row or one column at a time within that 10 by 10 square, and make sure you got that one all completely covered with that color before you move on. But there is another reality to these heavy confetti canvases, and that's the realization that you're just going to miss some. For almost every color, almost every time, you're going to miss some, and that's okay. Remember, you're supposed to be enjoying the process, not worrying about perfection. And so it's okay to miss one and go back later and grab the same color again and finish off that color. It's usually, you'll see why I'm laughing here. It's usually better to wait till the end and go back for any colors that you missed, because any others will pop out at you, so you're not picking up the same color 3 or 4 times. It might be just twice. So fill in all the other ones in, go back with the missed colors and go through and fill in those extra little ones that you missed. However, I'm a glutton for punishment. I guess I don't do that because it drives me nuts to see one sitting there for a color I've already done. About 3 colors later, I'll turn around and grab it and get that one done. And then, wouldn't you know it, about 10 minutes later, I see another one I missed. And I'll say, darn it. And then when I have used up another color, I'll go back and do it again and again and again. So for some of these sections, I can grab the same color 4 or 5 times until I finally do it and get them all covered. So this is a do as I say, not as I do. It's really better if you make a first pass through, and if you miss a couple, it's okay. Just go and grab them on your second pass after everything else is filled in. So that is one of the pieces of advice I have. I don't like to run too low on the drills because I don't want to have to shake the tray a bunch and flip them and everything. So I'm all about pouring more drills than you need into the tray so that you have plenty to choose from. So this is, I guess I should show you in the picture the exact area I'm working on here. And it's probably hard to tell from this printout from the computer because it came out kind of dark and it's nighttime here when the dogs are finally settled down. But I'm working on this area here. So I've done the top row, I've done the blue background and started some of the flowers in there here, and I'm working on the purple colors over here. So let me find out about you guys. How are you guys doing? I'm actually kind of surprised to find that I have almost 200 subscribers. I'm like that close to 200 subscribers. I never thought I'd have enough to say that I would end up with that many subscribers, but thank you all. And if you'd like to subscribe, go ahead and hit the button, hit the likes, hit the notifications, all that good stuff. You guys know that stuff, so you probably hear it over and over again from other channels. I'm not going to push it because I'm doing this just for fun. I'm not doing this for any money. My channel's not monetized. No company has asked me to do anything for them. This is all just purely for my own enjoyment, and so I don't feel quite so lonely while I'm diamond painting. So near 200 subscribers, and I will continue to provide content as long as you all are out there wanting to see it. But feel free to leave me a comment or give me some hint of what you're interested in, because my stash is pretty large. I've been trying to cut back a little bit, but I don't know how well you guys survived this weekend or the past with Diamond Art Club. I survived this weekend okay. I did not buy any of the restocks Wednesday, and I did not buy anything today, which is Saturday. However, last week I didn't do so well. I ended up with 4 more Diamond Art Club diamond paintings last week. So how did that happen? I don't know, because I already have enough. So they released one that was a succulent or cactus garden with a lizard and a snake and some really cute flowers, and I love cacti, so I couldn't resist. I had to get that one. And then they had another underwater ocean one with the octopus on it. I think it was Octopus Treasure. I don't even remember the name of it. I have it sitting right over there. I could probably grab it and take a look, but had to get that one too to get the free shipping. And then they had to come out with the contest after that for if you had a purchase within a couple days, they would give you a mystery gift card. So there was actually a third diamond painting I didn't buy at the time that I kind of wanted to, that I thought it could wait till later. But yeah, they got me with that mystery gift card potential. So actually, I have a dog here and there. So I went back to pick up that third diamond painting, and it was the two lionesses that say love is love on it. And I don't want to get political or anything, but I do support being kind to everyone out there, just no matter what their choices for partners and what their belief systems are. My oldest kiddo is actually transgender, and we just had a 2-week visit with her partner here who came from Oregon to visit. So I am fully in support of the LGBTQ community. And so when I saw that Love is Love diamond painting with the two lionesses, I really wanted it, but I didn't get it the first go around, so I did in order to enter for the mystery gift card. But of course that wasn't enough for free shipping, so why not throw a second one in? And so yeah, girl math. I'm a fan of the girl math, so I fell for it. So I got another one I've been looking at off and on for actually several months. Wasn't one of the more popular ones, but it was the world map diamond painting that they have. It's kind of smaller, but I do collect maps, and it looked kind of boring to me actually, which is why I hadn't bought it before. I needed kind of a little extra push or an excuse to buy it. So the background is a lot of off-white, and I'm not a fan of boring backgrounds, as you can tell by some of the choices I make here for diamond paintings. So I didn't buy it at first, but then I thought, well, it's not very expensive because it is a slightly smaller one, and I needed to make up for the shipping. So I went ahead and got that one. So I have 4 Diamond Art Club diamond paintings sitting right over there, begging me to do an unboxing or add them to the stash. For anybody that tries to keep track of their stash, I do not use a paper log, but I do use the Gems Flow app. So when I get a new diamond painting in, whether it's one of the budget paintings or Diamond Art Club or whatever company, I will go ahead and add them to my Gems Flow app. And I don't add all the individual colors or all the extra stuff you can do. I add a picture, whether it's square or round, where I got it from, number of colors. And that way, when I want to remind myself of what's in my stash, I can just search through that list on my phone and the pictures on my phone without having to go out there. Oh, it's raining. Very nice. The rain just started hitting the window out here. So I don't have to go through the closet and try to find them all. I think I'm actually done with that color. I can just look through my Gems Flow app on my phone, and the names that I give some of the paintings help me search for them in the app. So like all the Josephine Wall paintings that I have, I put the word wall next to them. So if I want to search out my Josephine Wall paintings, I just search for the word wall. And anything that is Christmas related, even if the painting's name doesn't have Christmas in it, I will put the word Christmas at the end, so that if I feel like searching through my Christmas paintings to see what I have, I just type the word Christmas and find it. So if you've never tried out the Gems Flow app, I recommend you give it a try. And it's an easy way to organize your diamond paintings if you are starting to get a collection that's a little bit harder to keep track of. And for those of you that have listened to my channel before, you may know I am a meteorologist, and so that's why the weather is kind of a big deal for me. So I've been paying pretty close attention because I live in, we call it West Central Texas. I live in San Angelo. Not quite far west Texas, but we have a cold front coming through tonight with a line of thunderstorms. And some of those storms could get pretty nasty tonight. So I've been keeping an eye on the weather because when the weather gets really nasty, we have to go to work. Because we are the ones that put out all those warnings and make your TV make noise and let you know that bad storms are on the way. So, as much as I'd love to crawl in bed tonight and sleep all night, I may actually end up working tonight if the weather decides to get a little bit worse. Right now, it's not too bad. There aren't any warnings out right now. It's enough that the people that are normally scheduled to work at the office can handle it. We are a 24/7 operation, and they've got it covered for now. But I am on the short list of people to call if they need extra help overnight tonight. So that's what I'll be doing. Luckily, I'm not a huge Super Bowl fan. I don't really care that much about football. Sorry, folks, if you do. It's just not my thing. So I don't have to worry about the Super Bowl or getting enough sleep or anything like that for the game. So I'm okay with helping out tonight with the storms if they need it. That is part of the job because, 90% of the time the weather's quiet. And we get our rest when the weather's quiet so we can jump in and do what we need to when it's not so quiet. So most of us meteorologists have been interested in the weather since we were little kids, or at least junior high, if not high school age. So we don't like to see bad things happen, but we do have a certain interest in the weather that makes it kind of exciting when we see the big storms. Sorry about that. Had to cough there for a second. So that is how my evening is going. And I also have a kiddo still at work, and she doesn't drive, so one of us will have to go fetch her here. She gets off at midnight. She works at Walmart, and I'm sure it's been pretty busy. My other kiddo works at Walmart too, but he got home a few hours ago, and he said, yeah, it was really busy. All the people buying all the food and beverages that they need for Super Bowl Sunday, getting ready for that. So we will be getting my kiddo here in a little while. But the storms don't seem too bad. A little bit of heavy rain there at the start, and now it's kind of settled down to a nice quiet rain. So maybe I'll get to stay in bed all night. That would be nice. So how are you guys doing? How's the weather where you're at? Have you ever wanted to try one of these big diamond paintings that are very confetti heavy with all the colors, but been afraid to? Hopefully I can give you some tips and tricks so that you're not afraid to give it a try. And the biggest thing I can say is to find a way to organize all the 200 plus drills and colors of drills in a way that makes sense to you, whether it's by symbol type or color or DMC number. Like I said, color definitely works on this painting because you can kind of see with the flowers you get one area blue, one area pink, one area of purple. The color sorting definitely works for this one. And then just take it a little at a time. I have replaced the double-sided adhesive top with this release paper, and even then I'm not pulling off the whole large piece of release paper, just a section is, and then I'm folding it back so that I don't get too overwhelmed by all the different symbols that I see. So a lot of people look at the 10 by 10 squares and pick a number to work on, maybe about 6 squares, like a 3 and 3. I picked a little bit larger area for now. But if you keep it small and just do a little bit at a time with taking a break, that's why you'll see some of my other videos show me unboxing various budget and smaller projects to do along the way, so I feel like I'm finishing something rather than just stuck in one of these big ones forever. So a mix of the two small ones and some squares of the large one seems to be my happy place. Because in the end, I really do like the challenge, and I love the watercolor look of Josephine Wall's art. One of the things you can see is how sticky that double-sided adhesive is, so it's really easy to get stuck to it yourself. So it's a good idea. Maybe, there's a small piece. I can show you one of the things I do when I'm working over on this side. I'm left-handed, which means I kind of have to put my hand across when I'm working on the right side. So what I do is I temporarily put down some release paper to rest my hand on, like that, so it doesn't get stuck on the sticky areas. And that keeps it nice and fresh and doesn't get my hand full of stickiness. And lets me kind of rest my hand. Of course, that would work the other way. And if you're right-handed, you can do the same on this side. Put the release paper down as you work on that side. Boy, that feels awkward. Yeah, I'm definitely a lefty. So, not a whole lot going on in my world other than the usual working, doing house stuff, cooking, cleaning, laundry, you know, the usuals. Luckily my kids are old enough that I don't have to do too much for them. So what's going on in your world? Hopefully everything's okay and not too busy and all is well. I'm trying to think what else I have to say about this particular painting here. It's hard for me to zoom in completely with my phone because my phone camera is acting up. I really need to pull out. I do have a DSLR camera, but I've never tried filming a video on it. I have a Nikon, and one of these days I may have to pull that out and play with it and see how it does videos. But I've been trying to do these quick and simple because I like diamond painting. I don't want to spend hours and hours making videos and editing. I don't mind spending a little time doing that, but I don't want all my time to be caught up in making videos. My glue dot was extra sticky there. I don't want to spend all my time making videos and having less time to diamond paint. So I do these videos pretty simple. I have a little light ring with a holder for my phone. I have a microphone that I attach to my shirt that goes through the phone. And I just talk. I don't edit. And when I'm done, I just upload straight from my phone. And that's the quickest and easiest way I found to do these. But I know as time goes on, I'm probably going to get more and more into making better videos. So I may start looking into using my camera with SD cards, putting them in my PC, maybe even editing videos. I'm not sure how far I really want to go with it. Yep, those are the yellows. That's not what I'm looking for. I need the next color. So we will hunt it down. And that is part of the challenge of doing 270 colors. It's looking through all these different drills. There it is. And trying to find the next color. So this is 927 because we're working on a lot of blues here along the edge. So let's see what else is new. Did a video earlier today with all the Van Gogh paintings I have. I'm starting to wonder I'm going to have time for all this because I have this Josephine Wall that I'm trying to finish that I started quite a while ago. I'd at least like to make some progress on it. I also have my other Josephine Wall from the one with the diamond art. That's the Spirit of the Storm that I know I've done several videos on. I need to do a little more work on that one and post an update. That one is the canvas that everything is done in white. So the whole background is white. And the symbols are quite different from this one. And they are pretty hard to decipher. So I've had some challenges with that one, but I haven't given up. Still working on that one. But that's another giant one, even bigger than this one, that I'm trying to work on. And I'm close to finishing my Dreamer Designs one, the Autumn's Gift. But I have several other WIPs and so many that I haven't started, that I have several big canvases in my closet. Diamond Art Club, Dreamer Designs. I fell into the FOMO thing as everybody else has at one point, especially when you're starting out. It's like, well, if I don't buy it this weekend, I might miss out on it, and I really want that one. But it gets to a point where you figure out how much can I really do, and how long can they sit there gathering dust. And then you see another one come along and you say, well, I was going to work on this other one, but then I saw that one and I unboxed it. And oh, it's so pretty. I want to start that one. And before you know it, you can have 20 WIPs and never get anywhere. And for those of you that are new, I should probably mention that WIPs stands for Work in Progress. So I do have several of those. But it doesn't bother me too much to have several going because, as you can see from this one, with so much confetti, it takes a little bit more concentration, especially finding all the different colors. Whereas some of my other ones, the 40 to 60 color range, they don't take nearly as much concentration, so I like to have a little bit of a break and work on those. And then there are others that are only like 20 to 25 colors, real simple ones that you can finish in a few days. And those I like to do as well. So I kind of switch around a lot, so it's okay to have several WIPs. You do you. Do what makes you happy and don't worry about any rules because there really aren't any. And one other thing I was going to mention, because I was trying to pick out the triangle here to do next, is that if you do turn your diamond painting on the side or upside down to work on it, all you have to do is turn your box of drills the same direction that the diamond painting is facing. And then you don't have to worry as much when you have a symbol like a triangle here. If you've got your drills pointed the same way as the painting, then it's easier to pick out which orientation that triangle should be. So that's just another one of those little hints for trying to figure out upside down, right side out, inward, outward, triangles, parentheses, all those symbols. Because when you get to the point where you're looking at 270 different colors, it's hard to come up with all of those unique symbols without having some directional ones. And I'll show you another cheater that I do here. This was, there's a square there. I don't know if you can see it, but I missed it with the other color a few colors ago. I'm just going to wing it and fill it in with the other color because I know this is part of the background. Doesn't matter that much. I don't want to go back and have to pull that color again just for one diamond. So I'm going to cheat a little bit there and use the color next to it and fill it in without having to worry about it too much. So I do that occasionally so I don't find myself pulling my hair out, going back and forth over and over with the same color drill. See, I don't think you can see that. My camera zoomed out too far, but I got a triangle pointed downward and one pointed upward with almost the same colors right there. And then I have several pointed sideways, whereas right now I'm working on the one that's pointed upward. So you do have to pay a little bit of attention to what you're doing to make sure, oh boy, so many arrows in different directions in this little spot right here. So hopefully I got it all. Now I do like being able to pick out the symbols that are colored in black against the darker backgrounds versus the one colored in white, because it's easier to pick them out. So I can kind of look across here. I mentioned I go in squares, but it's easier to tell when you're working with the black symbols because they kind of stand out on this one more so than the white ones. So that way you can know that you're done with that color. So what do I feel like working on next? I call that one the upside down Pac-Man symbol, and I believe that one's in my greens. And you'll find the more you work on one of these, the more you get used to what the symbol looks like, what the color is, and which box it's in. It's in this one. Upside down Pac-Man, where are you hiding? There you are. Yes. It is actually gray. This is color 318. So the more you work on one of these, the more you learn the spaces and the faster, or learn the spaces. Boy, can't talk. You learn the colors and the faster you are at finding them and picking them out. So I found that since I haven't, that's a bad drill. Every once in a while with this painting, I run into a bad drill. So that was one that had a little tab on it, so it wouldn't match up against the other ones. I won't try to show that on my camera, it won't. But if you ever run into a drill that just won't push up against the others, chances are it has a little extra piece of drill sticking out beyond where it should. And it's best to just pull those out and throw them out at that point when you find them, rather than trying to fight with them later on. So that's what I did there. I just yanked it and threw it over my shoulder. Let's see. Can work on some of these upside down Pac-Mans that are over here. Then I'll work on this square here. That Pac-Man is going the other direction. It's kind of a peach color there, whereas this is gray. So I will ignore that one. Okay, so I don't have a whole lot more to talk about related to this diamond painting. The rain seems to have stopped. I should probably wind this down so I can look at my phone, see what the storms are doing, see what my chances are of being able to sleep through the night without being called to work. And I wish you all a good evening, a good weekend, all that good stuff. And I hope that your life is going okay, and I hope that you have diamond painting or some other craft to lift your spirits if it's not. And feel free to drop me a line or give me a comment. Let me know. Dang, my glue dot is a little bit sticky there. That one's just not gonna hold. Sometimes I'll just give up and try another one. So, let me know what you're working on. Have you ever done one of these max color diamond paintings or a giant diamond painting? Or do you prefer to stay in the small or the round? It's okay. There's something for everybody out there. There's no rules, there's no contests, there's no reason to do something that you're not going to enjoy. So, I hope that you were able to get a few tips on this, see what it's like to work on a max color confetti heavy diamond painting. And really this one wasn't too extreme because I was working on the edge, so there was still a lot of background color down this edge. It's really gonna get messy as I head this direction and start having to pull colors like every 2 or 3 drills, but that's half the fun, and the end result is so worth it to see that watercolor look come through with all the subtle shading. So, thank you for stopping by, and hopefully I'll have more diamond painting. Oh, that's stuck again. There we go. Hopefully I'll have more diamond painting content for you in the coming days. I don't really have any specific plans for the next few days. I do have those 4 Diamond Art Club paintings that I bought last week that are sitting right next to me. I was debating whether to do an unboxing or not because they are recent paintings, except for the map, the world map, but I don't think too many people are interested in that one. So I don't know if I'll do an unboxing on here, but I can if people are curious and want to see them. But I know that other people have done unboxings of the same ones. So, okay, I'm going to let you go at the end of that color there, and I will catch you next time. Thank you for watching.